Okay, so today we're taking a deep dive into something, it's out there. It's something we hear about a lot these days, situationships. But what really is a situationship? It's kind of
Yes.
like we all use the word and we
Right.
sort of get it.
Yeah.
But to really understand it, we're going deep into this article called Tasted Text, which I think you've had a chance to look over.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a good look. And it really kind of gets to the heart of what makes a situationship, right? That it's this kind of undefined space. It's not like your typical relationship with like all the labels and the expectations and, the commitment.
Right. Yeah. So it's not a full-blown relationship.
Right.
It's not, just friends with benefits necessarily. It's this weird
The gray area.
gray area.
Yeah, exactly.
And the article actually says this gray area, this ambiguity, can be part of what makes situationships so appealing, especially for younger people. What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of truth to that. You think about it these days, everything's fast-paced, everybody's busy,
Right.
And a situationship kind of lets you have that connection, get that intimacy, maybe even a little bit of support, but without all of the pressure that comes with like
A
full-blown relationship.
The burden of commitment.
Yeah,
I think the article called it.
right.
Now, and I'm throwing this out to our listeners too. Have you found yourself in one of these situations where it's like, yeah, this is convenient?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think we've all been there at some point.
I think it's very, very common. And it makes sense in a way, right? We're all so busy.
Right.
We're all so, trying to juggle so many things.
And the article brings up another really interesting point about this whole appeal thing, and that's lust.
Oh, yeah.
It straight up says, in a world that's obsessed with, speed and efficiency,
Yeah.
a no-strings-attached physical relationship can be very, very tempting.
Right, because you get that like instant gratification
Yeah.
without having to like go through all the steps.
Yeah. And, maybe this ties into that whole fear of commitment thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Which the article also talks about.
Because you get to experience that like excitement of a new connection, but without, the potential for getting hurt or,
Right.
Going through a messy breakup or whatever.
Yeah. All the baggage.
Exactly.
So we've got convenience, we've got lust, but the article, and I think this is really important, warns us that we can't mistake these things for actual love.
Right.
It talks about this illusion of connection. What do you think that really means? Yeah.
I think it's like when you have this situation where, let's say you're constantly texting with someone, you're hanging out a lot, you're sharing all these experiences, and those feelings, they feel real.
Right.
They feel intense, but, they might be more about the excitement of the newness.
Yeah.
Of not knowing where things are going rather than like a genuine deep connection.
Right. So it's that whole, I think I'm catching feelings kind of moment.
Exactly.
That I think, let's be honest, we've all probably experienced
Oh, yeah, for sure.
at least once or twice in our lives, right?
Many times.
So how do we navigate these situationships, We're in them.
Yeah.
How do we not get totally lost in the ambiguity and in the feelings?
Well, the article really emphasizes this point about communication.
Okay.
Like having these open and honest conversations, even though they can be really difficult, especially early on, because it's about setting those expectations, right? Like, what are you looking for from this? What am I looking for? What are we both comfortable with?
Yeah, but how do you even start those conversations?
I think the article had a good suggestion about just starting with your own feeling, right? Like saying something like, hey, I'm really enjoying spending time with you, but I'm also a little bit confused about, where this is going.
Okay.
And then, maybe we can talk about what we both want.
Yeah, because framing it that way, it's not an attack.
Right.
It's like we're
in this together.
in this together, yeah.
Let's figure it out.
And, the article makes this point that even with, the best communication,
Yeah,
every situationship eventually comes to an end.
right.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because by their very nature, situationships are kind of built on this foundation of not knowing, not knowing where things are going.
Right.
And as people grow and evolve and our needs change, and
Yeah.
what might have worked at one point maybe doesn't work anymore.
And that's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay for things to evolve.
Yeah.
It's okay for things to end.
Right.
So, it sounds like even if a situationship doesn't magically transform into this long-term, I do kind of thing,
Yeah.
it can still be a really valuable experience.
Absolutely. It's a learning experience, right?
Right.
You learn about yourself, you learn about what you want, you learn
Your patterns.
your patterns,
Mhm.
exactly.
What you're attracted to, what you're not.
And I think that's something the article really drives home is this idea of like situationships are an opportunity for self-discovery.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing, if our listeners take away one thing from this conversation about situationships, what should it be?
I would say just be really honest with yourself about why you're in the situationship in the first place. Are you there because it's convenient? Are you scared of commitment? Or are you actually like truly open to something more?
Right.
And once you understand your own motivation, then you can, kind of move forward in a way that feels more authentic.
And have those tough conversations
Exactly.
about what you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been super insightful. I think, we've all learned a lot. I know I have. So to our listeners, as you navigate the crazy world of modern dating,
Right.
remember, honesty and communication are key.
Yeah. Always.
And just because something's a situationship now
Right.
doesn't mean it can't evolve into something more
Exactly.
if that's what you want.
Or not.
Or not. All right. So that's it for our deep dive on situationships. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next time.